Hi, welcome to the Somatic practice. I've been wanting to upload more, at least once a week, your online session, because I have found that it's hard sometimes for some of my students or people that I hear about that are wanting to practice something that is in a gentle pace, accessible, but it involves somatic and therapeutic tools into the practice. So this is another part of the series that I am creating for our online library. So I hope you enjoy this practice, which we will focus a bit more around the area of the shoulders. So we'll begin laying down first and finding a comfortable place to begin your session of today. You start with 3 nice conscious breaths together. At your own time, invite these breaths to be grounding and centering for you. You can choose to breathe in through nose and out through nose, and even sigh. This is language of our body welcoming these breaths as a message of arrival. And then we'll give our body a little stretch. So I'm going to extend my legs down, stretch my arms, and just make sure the mic is not blocked. And stretch my arms over my head and give our body just a big stretch and soften. I'm going to bring the knees into my chest, hug them in, sort of curl. Even if you could try to bring your head into the little curl position, rounding, and then relaxing. We're going to stretch again. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs. You might even pedal the feet a little bit side to side. Try to stretch it out, and then let go. Great. I'm going to come over to my side and then find a seated position. I'm going to use a cushion. I really like the height of these cushions to begin with. And I'm going to start in a cross-legged position, just an easy cross, to come to this first part of our session. Just arriving. Again, maybe a few breaths might be invitation for you to transition from being on the ground to upright. And I'm going to just lean a little forward towards my ankles, checking that the pressure is okay. I might bring my fingers to the mat, allow a nice tummy breath. And I'm going to walk over to one side. Nice breath to the open side of my belly and my ribs. And then come back to the middle and take another breath there. And then move over to the other side. Take a breath. And we'll come back. I'm going to change the crossing of my legs, doing the other side crisscross. And trying again, leaning in. This side might like less pressure, or it might be okay with deeper pressure. Just check with your knees and ankles. So I first start at the middle, taking a breath, letting my elbows soften a little more. And I'm going to go again to one side, any side you like to. I'm going to let my elbows drop because that feels very comfortable for me. And I'm going to walk back to the middle. So just being here for a breath. And then going to the other corner, other side. So nice tummy breaths or opening the side of our body. I can really feel it on the lower back. See where you notice your release or your stretch. Great. I'm going to come back to the middle. And then I'm going to do deer pose. So I'm going to take my leg behind me. My left leg is on the front, right leg at the back. So this is mirroring to you. So I'm going to bring my hands just to wherever they feel comfortable. I'm going to do a gentle arch on my back and drop my chin towards my chest. And then round my middle back and gaze very gently towards the sky. And then repeat that gentle arch of the middle back and the chin dropping to the chest. So it might be a little bit different to what you would do with your cat and cows. And then rounding and gazing to sky. And do that again. So I'm going to arch. This time I'm going to cross my fingers behind me and extend my arms. I'm trying to keep my chin towards my chest in this option. And then as I round and gaze to the sky, I'm going to hug my arms around my shoulders. I'm just going to be careful with the mic, but you can kind of wrap your arms around. round the back and gaze to sky. And then cross the fingers at the back, arching the middle back, dropping chin to chest. And then rounding middle back, gazing to sky, and just sort of hugging your arms around your shoulders. And then coming back. Good. I'm going to turn towards my left side, bringing my hands just to wherever they land here. Just checking how that feels into the back. And I'm going to bring my right hand on top of my right hip and let my hip roll in. So I'm lifting just my right buttocks off the floor or the seat and then rolling it back. My left buttock stays on my cushion or on the floor if you're on the cushion, on the floor, and then rolling back. So I'm just creating an internal rotation, maybe looking over to the side. And I'm going to try to keep my nose in line with my sternum as I turn and back. Let's do that one more time. Do internal rotation, turning the chest a bit to the left side and back. Now I'm going to take my right hand to my right shoulder. And as I turn, I'm going to reach through my right shoulder back and then come back and take my right elbow behind me over opening to the right and then across. So I'm twisting to the left, reaching through my elbow and then back, opening to the right and then reaching and back. Good. I'm going to come back with my hands to the mat. You can stay here. I'm going to try to come a little lower and this feels okay for me. So I'm going to just allow some belly breaths there. So I'm really noticing that sort of stimulation and stretch around my outer left hip, the buttocks that is on the seat. So I'm just going to let the weight of my upper body soften into my arms, the support of my arms. Now I'm going to do internal rotation with my back leg. So my right foot comes off the floor. I do internal rotation and down, internal rotation and down, internal rotation and down, and one more, just internal rotation. I'm just going to do it one more, give you a cue. When the foot is down, you have the outer side of your knee touching the ground. When your foot comes off the ground, think of maybe the middle of your knee wanting to touch the floor. See, that changes how much give you give or what you explore in movement when you bring the focus to the knee rather than how high your foot goes. Good, and then come down. I'm going to come up again and then come back to the middle. I'm going to turn very lightly to the right, but I want to stay upright. So I might be with my hands here. If this doesn't happen for you, you're kind of hunching. You can use your hands behind you just to give you some support. And I'm going to bring my left knee off the ground and back down. So I'm just focusing on the contraction of my inner thigh in order to lift the leg and down, lifting like a little butterfly wing and down. Great. I'm going to come and lay down on the floor. I'm going to lay on the left side of my body and I'm going to use my left arm to support my head and my legs in front of me. I'm going to take my right hand to sky and then turn it as if I'm turning a light bulb in the ceiling. So I can do my whole arm, internal rotation and external rotation. Internal rotation, external rotation. And then I'm going to take my arm to make circles. So I'm going to circle my arm and I can continue playing with this light bulb movement or rotation in my hand. So I'm just moving my arm around. If you get distracted with what the hand is doing, just focus on the shoulder. Here we're moving around the shoulder girdle, then the shoulder blade. I'm going to change the direction, so I'm going to change the other way around. Just moving with that twisting motion of my hand. And I'm going to make now the movement a little bigger. I'm going to use my gaze, my eyes, to take the arm even bigger, and then let my arms follow my hand. So now I'm involving the rib basket. I'm actually going to move my bottom arm so it gives my head much more freedom. I forgot to say that. So I'm going to continue moving my arm, but now letting my eyes follow my hand. And I'm going to reverse. I think I ended up a bit close to the wall and I can't move my arm that far back. I'm going to snuggle a little bit this way. Yep, that gives me more space. So I'm aware that I could touch the floor above me and around me, and if that's not the goal, but notice what your arm does. Good. I'm going to do that. Good. And then we just rest this arm. Give your body a little pause to sense the settling of your shoulder. And now we're going to roll onto the tummy. So I'm going to roll down onto the floor, on the belly. I'm going to turn actually this way so you can see me. So I'm going to come to the tummy and I'm going to bring my feet into the air, bend my knees and circle my ankles. I'm going to keep my head a little lifted so you can hear my voice. Circle my ankles around both directions, just letting my toes spread out. And then soften my feet back to the mat. Hands, I'm going to bring them to the side of my chest. Press the top of my feet to the mat and do some baby cobras. I'm going to inhale, gentle lift of the chest off the mat, and then exhale, coming down. I'll do that 3 more times. I first anchor the pubic bone and then use my breath to lift the chest. My head and my neck are not doing anything. All this effort is coming from my middle back. I'm going to do that 1 more time. Just a gentle back bend and softening. I'm going to push back to a child position. So find your way back, and I'm going to bring my knees as wide as my mat and sit back to my heels. Doing a little support for my head here. Nice big breath of my belly between the thighs. Here I'm going to keep my hips resting to my ankles and come to my elbows and forearms. And I'm going to walk over to the right, bringing my right rib on top of my right thigh. I could extend my arms, rest my head on my arms, or rest my head on the mat. I'm going to take big breath through the left lung, left side. Good, and then slowly come back. I'm going to come to the middle, pause for a moment, and then go over to the left side. Resting my left rib on my left thigh. I could rest my head on my arms or rest my head on the mat. I'm going to just take a nice deep breath there and then soften. Good. Let's come back to the middle. I'm going to come over to hands and knees and bring my knees hip-width distance and do some happy cats and angry cats. So undulations of spine. I'm going to take a nice inhale, gentle arch, and exhale to curl. And 1 more. Inhale, gentle arch. Exhale and curl. I'm going to go to neutral position. Lean forward into my finger pads. Tuck the toes. Push back and lift. Can you push back through all 10 fingers as you lift sitting bones and tail? Big breath in and long breath out. Good. Let's bring both knees to the mat. And may we meet down to our bellies again. So let's slide all the way down. I'm going to roll onto my back now. So roll onto my back. And I'm going to just do a few single leg raises here. So my arms are to my side, long legs, pressing a little bit away through my heels. So my feet feel as if they're against a wall to activate the back of my legs. And I'm going to inhale and raise 1 leg and exhale and lower. Inhale the other leg up and exhaling down. You do that again. I keep usually my knees soft. I don't tend to recommend locked straight knees. Locked knees. So just a little softness through the knees. 1 more. Just 1 more for each leg. Exhaling down. When you lift, notice if you're pushing your lower back to the ground, and can you keep a little curve without flattening your back? Great, let's stretch the legs down, stretch the arms over the head, and give your body a nice stretch and soften. We're going to come up to sit, so I'm going to cross my ankles, hug the knees in, and rock my way up to sit it. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to use my cushion again. You don't need to use the cushion. I'm going to now bring my right leg in front and left leg back. So we start here at the center. I'm going to bring my hands just to my thighs. I'm going to do a gentle arch, chin to chest. I round my back, gaze to the ceiling. So I'm being very, very gentle with the neck. So I'm doing the middle, doing something a little different to what my neck is doing. And now I'm going to integrate the hands. So I cross my fingers, stretch my arms back, and then round my back, hug my arms, and gaze up. Good, and then stretching, chin to chest. See what your head wants to do. I could wrap my arms a little more, but I'm careful with the mic. So if you notice it looks a bit odd, it is also the mic position. Great. So I'm going to bring now my hands to the right side so I can find this rotation that comes from my hip towards my right. I can use my left hand to my left hip to feel the internal rotation and settling back down. Just to sense how my left buttocks comes off the seat and rolls my hip in, and I roll it back down. Rolling it in and rolling it back. And I'm just trying to keep my nose in line with my chest so that I'm aware where the movement is coming from. Because sometimes the eyes can be a bit tricky. Where we go. So we're going to bring now the left hand to the left shoulder, and I'm going to turn, roll the hip in, and then reach through your left elbow. And then roll it back, open a little bit to the left, and then turn, reach through your elbow, and then back. What would it feel like to make this movement guided by your, initiating with your eyes, just with your gaze? And try what would it feel like to move this way, guided by your skull, by your head, where your head moves. Good, I'm going to bring both hands now to the floor and then see if I can lean in to over this hip. So I could be high, I could try coming a little lower. And I'm just letting the weight of my upper body rest into this right hip. Soften belly. Eyes can soften here. Some people can come a little lower. That's also an option. So it's just for you to feel this side. And now we're going to do the internal rotation. So I'm going to lift my left foot, doing internal rotation, and then back down. Internal rotation. It almost feels like a Charleston foot, like dancing Charleston. And you can always pay attention what is happening with your left knee as it sits on its side and then rolls in. Okay, let's come back up. And I'm going to turn just a little bit to my left side so where I can be upright, and then lift my right knee off and back down. Right knee and back down, up, just to feel that contraction from the inner thigh and down. Good. We're going to come and lay on our right side now. So I'm going to use my right arm to support my head and my knees on top. And I'm going to extend my left arm to the sky, and I turn, see if there's a light bulb in the ceiling. Just twisting an internal rotation, you feel your shoulder rolling in, and then twisting it back, rolling the shoulder back. And then we start to do this movement that is just circling, just in the same shoulder connection to the arm bone. I can continue playing with the rotation of the light bulb in my hand. Go slow. I'll invite you to try a speed that feels slow for you. And then change the direction the other way. And if I want to start making a bigger movement, I'm going to let my eyes now. I'm going to change my bottom arm, so my head is on the floor, and then my eyes follow where my hand goes. Now I'm not doing the light bulb movement anymore on my hand. I'm just letting, I'm going to wiggle a little bit away from the wall. So I'm just letting my whole upper body do this movement. But it's a really whole body movement because your top hip is also swaying back and forth. You might change direction, see where you create this movement. Good, take your time. I'm not a fan of doing more, we gain more. Sometimes, and a lot of the times, doing less, we gain more. So find just the right pace for you. Good. Gonna relax this side, relax this shoulder, just letting it settle. And we're gonna go back to on our tummy, just rolling on our backs, on our tummy. And again, I'm just going to keep my head lifted so I can speak here. And I'm going to bend my right knee, point and flex my foot. Point and flex it. And I'm going to keep it flexed as if I'm holding a tray on my foot. With my heel above my knee, I'm going to press my right hip down and lift my knee off the ground as if I'm lifting the tray. And here's a contraction from the back thigh and your glute muscle. And then gently lower. Inhaling, lifting. So I'm trying to lengthen the front of my thigh and then lower. And again, check that you're not twisting, that you're leaning to one side. It's more about the contraction of the glute and thigh. And then one more, lifting and then releasing. Let's do the other side. So bend your left knee, left foot, point and flex it, point and flex. And then keep it flexed as if you're carrying a tray with the heel above your ankle. Press your left hip down, lift the tray, inhaling and exhaling down. And again, inhaling to lift and exhaling down. Good, make sure your head is relaxed so that your lower back is not compressing. I'm just keeping it lifted for the voice. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Just lifting, lengthening the front of the thigh and releasing. And the last one. And down. Good, rest your foot down. We're going to stretch it back into our child pose. Just stretch all the way back to your heels. Give yourself a little jiggle, little sway. And we do our side child poses. So knees apart as wide as the mat and the big toes touching at the middle. So I'm coming to my forearms first and then walking over to one side, resting my rib on my thigh. And again, you can try bringing the head down. Sometimes the second time around, our body is ready for something a bit different. Again, your arms could extend and you can have your long side arm on top of the short side arm. Give you a bigger opening for the breath. So I'm going to come to the middle, walk with your elbows, give some support to the upper body, and then go over to the other side, resting your rib. So I'm always very, very keen of support. Where can I find support? My thigh? Can I find maybe my hands, my arm? Just seeing where can I find some support. For me, the head on the floor is very comfortable, and I can have my long arm on top of my short side arm. And this is just to give some more space to the side of the body, the lateral side, from the waistline all the way through the arm and fingertips. And I'm going to slowly come back through the middle and then come into our hands and knees to do our undulations of spine. So nice inhale, gentle arch, and smooth exhale, a curl. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So I always like to integrate symmetrical movements after either rotation or lateral movement, so we come to a bit of centeredness and balance. We're going to meet in a neutral position for an inverted V. So I'm going to lean forward, exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips up. So I use the 10 fingers to press the ground away, elongating the arms and lifting the tailbone high. Big breath in and long breath out. Okay, let's bring both knees to the mat. Come down to the belly. We're going to do 3 cobras and then roll on our backs. So hands to the side of the chest, forehead to the mat, top of the toes pressing the floor, and inhale into the heart. You could do your baby cobras like before, or you might like a deeper stretch of your belly and then come down. I'm going to use the inhale to come up. Keep the elbows hugging the side of the ribs, lifting the chest and exhaling down. And I'll remind you again, I try not to use the neck movement. I only use the strength here of the middle back and the support of the arms. Good, and relax. Stay for a moment, jiggle the hips. We're going to roll onto our backs one more time. So we lay on our backs, finding a support of the legs, the back, the arms, and we do one more time our single legs for our final stretch. So our legs can come together or hip width distance. And I inhale and lift one leg, and exhale, release. Inhale the other leg, exhaling down. And again, inhale, lifting, exhaling down. Inhale, lifting. Just make sure you're not pressing your lower back, just to the point where you can go, and then down. I'm going to lift my initial leg, and I'm going to interlace the hands behind my thigh. Might relax here my shoulders, the back of my head. Again, I'm keeping my knees soft here. Now you're welcome to keep the head on your mat if your neck feels much supported and better here. Otherwise, you can take a breath and draw the head off the mat. Come up to see your belly button, and you could try sliding your hands a little higher. I'm going to soften my elbows and my shoulders. Soften the eyes, and just for a breath or 2 here, think of relaxing the back of your body towards the earth. And then we come down, hug the knee into the chest. I'm going to use my left hand to hold my right knee and stretch my right arm to the side. And take a breath. And then cross over to the left halfway. Halfway might be just enough for your body to sense that movement, and then roll back down. Inhale at the center. Exhale, guide the leg across to the left. Halfway might be full, might be fine. And then coming back, inhaling there. And exhaling, this time see if your foot can maybe find some support. Could be a block, could be a pillow, could be the ground. And I can keep my head in the middle or tip the head a bit to one side. And yeah, arms can stay there. Some people find it really intense on their shoulder here, on the right shoulder with the arm extended. You could also bring your hand to the rib. That's also an option. So just to finish our rotation, let the bottom side of your body be on a holiday. No, not holding up, let it drop. The bottom side of your body, let it soften. We'll do one last breath here. And we're going to slowly come back, roll on our backs. Relax the whole right side of you. And then we're going to do the left side. So I'm going to bring my legs a little closer, lift my left leg off the floor and interlace my hands. Again, I can choose to be here. My head feels better on the floor. That's perfect. Just enough stretch to the back of your legs. Some of us might need to go a little further. so that we can get that sensation of stretching. So we just take a breath and then we can lift our head. And I bring the hands just a little bit higher, checking that your neck is always comfortable. Just one more deep breath there. Good, let's come down. Bend the knee into the chest, just give your hip a little stretch. And I use my right hand to hold my left knee and left arm to the side. I'm going to take a breath here and then guide my leg across to the right, maybe just halfway, and then come back. Inhale there and exhale across to the right. Inhale, come back. And then this time, see if your foot can find some support. Again, offer yourself support. And what else can be more comfortable? Your neck, your arms. What could you offer yourself to be a bit more comfortable or super comfortable? Not a little bit. Can you be very, very comfortable here? So nice deep breaths to the top rib, top side. Let's do one last breath together here. And we're going to slowly come down to rest in our relaxation. So just to finish off, do a little bit of squeeze of your feet, tense your legs and soften. Squeeze the buttocks muscles, tensing and relaxing. Squeeze your belly, push your lower back and relax. Press the elbows to the floor, puff your chest and drop. Squeeze your shoulders up to the ears and relax. Squeeze your fingers into the hand, make a fist. Turn the wrist around. Open your palms, reach away and drop. Squeeze all the muscles of the face. Squeeze and relax. And open your eyes and mouth to stretch the tongue away. And relax. You can roll your head to the sides a couple of times and invite a nice big breath and a sigh. I'll invite you for this last few minutes to enjoy being, resting, and letting go. And for a minute or two, offering the weight of your body into the earth. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.